Yo, what's up, gang? Um, yeah, it's been a month of not posting anything, but yeah, I feel like I was so focused in trying to pump out videos, pump out stuff, and it just I didn't. I feel like I got kind of burnt out from that. So I mean, pulled back, did what's important to me, or at least like narrowed it down, because shiny object syndrome. Because meaning, of course, like I think I'm kind of a perfectionist, but also, there's a lot of people around the world, like course gurus and all that other stuff. So it's like, eh, I already have my proven results with numerous one-on-one students, so I'm not really worried about that. In terms of next life goals, next investments, next stuff, and I've just been focusing on that super hard. So mainly been getting into private equity, so private lending wise, and that's been going good. So trying to scale that up a little bit, and then still continuing mentoring as well as doing Amazon itself, and then just I think I'm getting more into real estate, but mentally wise, I'm chill, man. I'm chill. Um, helping scale my partner's business right now, so we're walking through it, trying to see what the next steps for that is, and then we have a big event together in 3 months. So I'm about to post that later, and then honestly, my town's kind of small, So getting this beast and driving around, it's like everybody looks. Everybody looks. Whether that be a positive look or like a negative one, it didn't really matter. But I've just been driving around to small businesses and just getting to know them, getting to know their business, what they do, especially like the Vite community. Like I kind of want to like blend it together in a sense because here, at least in Wichita, it's like one piece is over there, another piece is over there. Like they don't f with each other, like at all. So I think it'd be cool to actually do an interview with one of them that has scaled their little small business from nothing to now what it is in a year, and really good food, So I think that'll be the next video where we just talk. I introduce both of them, ask them what they do, where they got to that point, why they chose business. I don't know. I like those videos. So I mean, eventually I'll probably do the YouTube series where like I do like free Amazon stuff and things like that. But I think the more time has gone on, the more things you just give away or whatever. It's just people will just keep pulling. Like it's always take, take, take. So it's like I'll give free advice when I want to, and I do, I mean, at some point, I mean, the biggest advice in almost every video is to just start, man. Just to start. I don't care if you do Amazon, drop shipping, real estate, whatever it is. It's going to be the same as a job, You have to turn in your resume. You have to go to work on your first day. You have to go through orientation. Same thing with business. You're going to have to understand what it is that you do, what functions you need to be able to do, whether it be customer relationship wise or your website, your UI needs to be looking good, the presentation of it, everything just kind of needs to all click, So I mean, this whole month I didn't post. I mean, me and my girlfriend went to Mexico. That was a good reset. Like just not talk about business, not talk about things, and I mean, life's been good. I mean, scaling up now. It's like 6 figures a month. Sometimes I get to a point I'm like, what did I do with all this money? Like it's like crazy. But I've been focusing a lot more on it, and I probably want to start getting into development on top of the properties that I already have. And yeah, I mean it's crazy. Like even though I haven't posted in a month, I've done so much in that amount of time in a month, and then like my mindset wise, whether it be like, man, should I buy another house? But then switch on to like, should I build a warehouse? Should I do this business? Should I do that business? There's so much potential to allocate to things, but eventually it becomes like, okay, I already have like a few actives. I either need to make them a little more passive active, or like straight transitional passives. So that's why I got into this lending thing where it's like, you just become the bank and you lend people it, and then by the end of the month you get your rate that you were promised, right? So that's been chill. That's been real chill. I've been doing that for a couple months now, and it's great. Honestly, it's great. But mentally wise, I mean, I'm good. I'm good, man. Didn't die, did nothing, I just stopped posting because I was like, meh. Like, I'd rather focus on the more important things instead of like force out videos where I just like don't feel the passion of like posting it, right? This, I feel passionate to actually post, to just make an update, like a life update, So me and my girlfriend have been rapping, my C8. That things have been a pain in the ass because Chrome doesn't really stretch. So I mean, also see, even I help participate in like my girl's business, and I get a glimpse of this, of like the pros and cons of that. And for me personally, I don't have enough patience to wrap a whole hood and then be like, dang, there's this one little crease, or like if you pro heat it and then like missing, like the bubbles pop up in the middle of that and you have to unwrap that. It makes you understand, like, you'll eventually figure out what you're really, really, really good at and just dial in, focus in on that. And I think that's what most people don't get. They always try a little bit and don't see anything, and then they try the next thing, try that a little bit and don't do it. Sometimes you just have to stick it for a long time until then it's like, okay, because most people give up because of the convenience. Now that TikTok has like a short retention span, so like you're always doom scrolling, or like Instagram where people are just posting their highlights. Social media is all posting highlights, posting all that stuff, but they don't really like, truthfully, are they really gonna post their bad moments? Like, not really. But I mean, at the end of the day, you just have to be able to get back up. I mean, there are some days where I don't want to do anything. Nothing bad per se happens, I guess, but I don't want to do anything. Like, legitimately, I don't want to do anything. And it's not even on vacation mode, like it's at, I'm back from vacation. I just don't want to do anything. But then I remind myself, I'm like, someone else out there is probably doing something. And I'm not thinking about it in like a toxic way. It's like, damn, bro, I gotta keep up. But for my sanity, the reason why I got up to this point was because I got up and did that one thing I needed to do every day, which is what led me to now, And I guess I never really showed the finished floor, but the floor is finished. It is, green, red, and white, and then black all over. We tried to get pink in there, but it just didn't turn out that way. But I mean, for the most part, the garage is done. Maybe like a couple more hex lights in the background, and then maybe like a couch to like, do a little podcast thing. And then I was about to do a podcast, and then it's just, again, it came to the point where I was like, holy shit, bro, like there's just so much going on. I'm just like, I told myself realistically, I'm like, I gotta just dial it down to like expand to 1 to 2 other things that are more beneficial to me, or at least looking for more passive ones, And the saying is true. The more money you have, the more access you have to easier incomes that you just literally need to either let the money sit there or just invest it. That's truthfully where it's at, And I've already had my 3 actives that keep working. So, I mean, it's kind of comes to a point where it's like the other incomes that I make kind of need to be more like beneficial towards me, or make sense towards what I'm already doing, right? YouTube, you kind of have to put in the work until it finally, blows up and stuff. Like consistent video, consistent editing, and I personally haven't been hitting up my editor as much as I should, but I've just been busy doing other things that are like, again, more helpful or more impactful right now compared to having them run around my day-to-day. Because Amazon sellers, most business people that aren't running a restaurant or whatever, realistically their day-to-day is just like stuck on the laptop, either going to the meetings. Other than that, there are highlight days, but I save those for like vacation wise, And for the most part, free. I'm free to do whatever, but I tend to have like that mindset that most people have that are like the ambitious type, where it's like if you're not doing anything, it's like you're not doing enough, you know, and it feels like you got to be pounding at it, like you got to be doing something. So I think that's where I like kind of need to work on, where it's like not every day is like needs to be like hitting the wall, right? But I kind of want to be like chill in my 30s, you know, chill in my 30s and 40s. So I mean, what's another 2 3 years of figuring out ways to like set my future generation, right? You know, my lifeline, my bloodline, right? And that requires sacrificing months and years just to figure out the next step, right? And it's true. When I first started, you know, like 10, 20K a month was like crazy, right? And now, like, you're hitting 6 figure months, and it's just like, holy, like, there's levels to what you do with the money, do whatever. And now I understand where, like, lottery people, like, they get that lump sum amount and they don't have the habits or the discipline, so then it's blown, like, it's gone. But now at the stage that I'm at, you know, I truly try to stick myself to be humble, man. I could have literally thrown both of these out and got a better whip by now, but I think it's a mission statement to me. It's like these were my dream cars at some point, and they still are. You know, they're both still fun to drive. I still drive both of them, but it's a constant daily reminder. It's like don't be so fixated on actually achieving the goal, but more so the process, right? If you can enjoy the process, these two things or whatever else you end up getting will last so much longer in terms of gratitude and like the happiness that you get from them. And it's just like a relationship or anything else that you do, a friendship, whatever. Like, if you rush it and you're only there for one thing, it's like, okay, I know I gotta get into this relationship, or I gotta make more friends. But like in the end, you make more friends out of like just being like, oh yeah, you want to be my friend, you want to be my friend, instead of like actually building a genuine connection. It's the same with like a relationship. Like if you can't enjoy the process of blossoming, then it's like you're trying to jump to the other side of the grass where you think it's greener, but it's never greener. Like it's always the place that you water, take care of, you know, build the foundations, build the background. Is where it's like most important and where you're gonna like find the most fulfillment. Like, and I'm glad I got to learn that by 25. You know, like it's like a surreal feeling that, you know, all this can come crashing down tomorrow. You know, the consistent work and the you don't you don't fall to like your habits. You fall to the level of your systems, right? If you start faltering and start getting lazy in like the day, like the basic daily tasks that you got to do every day, that's when you start to falter, right? And that's where people get kind of a little complacent when you start making absurd amounts of money. It sometimes gets to your head, right? But you have to think like, how do I keep this growing and not go to waste? Or, but also don't be too fixated on making more money. It's gonna drive you insane. But if you can, the one thing you can take away from this video, if you can solve someone's problem, you can charge whatever amount. That's the main goal. Like the whole point in business and the whole point of any other business is they solve a point. Why do you think it's called fast food? It's convenient, it's fast, it's there, you know. Home improvement stores, they're selling you home improvement things, you know. You got to think like once you finally get good at whatever it is that you end up wanting to pursue, like what is it that you're good at that you can, you know, provide and like give a probable solution to, right? But take it one step at a time. Don't take big leaps, you know. That's where you start scraping your knee a lot more, and you just start to slow down, you know. Take those mental breaks, take those things, you know. And I mean, if you've taken anything away from this, like my YouTube video, my YouTube journey, it's very inconsistently consistent. Like I always come back, and then I always give my peace of mind on like the next step. But it's not like I hop on the video and I haven't done anything, right? Now that I've, you know, started doing private lending and doing land investments, you know, like I'm now starting to think into like developmentals, and then also setting up big projects, you know, starting up a car club with with my girlfriend and then another admin, and it's just a lot going on. Like, it's like, but also cohesively it makes sense. And then life's full of up and downs. I mean, there are days that you're not in it, you're not in the mood, or something tragic happens, and like, take the day off. Take the day off, and like, kind of like ignore what I said like earlier, where it's like you have to do 1%. Like, if you're just something tragic or something, like, don't force yourself to do it. Like, you're eventually gonna drive yourself insane. And I think I truly follow with it. If you, money just amplifies the person that you are. So if you're already greedy and like you're gonna burn it already, and like that's the type you're gonna be, then it is, But if you're the type that you make more money and you're strategically trying to think of ways to expand on it and improve on it, then so be it. Because now, like, vice versa, if I were to win a lottery, I would not be blowing that on stuff. It straightly go into investments, and then whatever else, then you can call it fun money, right? But for the most part, it's like, these are always constant reminders, because after I'm done with my, day, like whether it be meetings or setting up events and stuff, it's like, I get to drive this bad boy every night, or that one, like both of them. So it's a real feeling. And then just giving my parents a home, right? Like, truly, I don't know, it's kind of like speechless that I did this in like 3 years, like almost at this point approaching 3. And it's like, if you told me at 22 that I was going to be able to do this at 25, it's kind of like cap, like, what the hell? And I think I like the videos the way that it is, because it's non-scripted. There's nothing, like, there's no agenda really behind it. But I mean, if you guys wanted to get started, down below I'll leave the link for Helium-10. But that's like, basically, think of it like your product. Think of it like if you're a gym rat, like a MyFitnessPal. So it basically tells you the calories, proteins, and all that stuff, right? But in a sense, here, Helium-10 is like going to be the tool that gets you started in finding a product, whether it's profitable, not profitable, all that other stuff, So it basically tells you when the seller was like when the seller has started making money, how much money they make per month, all that jazz, So I'll leave like a discount code link down below if you guys are interested in that. But mentorships, I'm kind of booked out, It's kind of like I'm like picking and choosing at this point what's because you can tell when someone's actually there to actually learn, and then the others are like, all right, bro, like, when can I flip this tomorrow? When can I flip this tomorrow? But then I ask them, it's like, if you want to flip it tomorrow, then just do stocks, high risk, high reward. Like, you can go in tomorrow, you can make that, but then you can also blow it. I think the analogy of more like, bodybuilding. You're not going to see a six-pack tomorrow, but also nowadays, I've been thinking about it, it's like opening a restaurant. Grand opening is going to be your big bang, right? But after that, consistently day to day, week to week, you're not going to get as many clientele or customers coming in and ordering stuff. Nothing ever truly happens overnight. Like, just now I'm saying it's almost been 3 years, and now I got to this point. I didn't get this, like the next day of doing something, Consistency will always beat motivation. Motivation it falters, like there are days where you have high ass dopamine and you want to do something, and then there's other days where you just have the lowest amount of dopamine. You don't want to do shit. But that's where discipline and consistency will always trump that. And it's the same thing as, obsession beats talent. You could be very talented at marketing, you could be very talented at cooking, but if you're very inconsistent compared to someone that's obsessed with it, and maybe they're complete ass when they're doing it, right? But over time, that obsession, they'll get better and better and better and better. Like, if you watch my first YouTube video, it was so bad. Like, I mean, it was good, but like in a sense, I was like, fuck, like I don't want to, like, like, I was like scared to like watch the video. Like, that's how like nervous I was to be like, damn, I'm gonna delete this video, I'm gonna do this and that. But in reality, it's like, who cares? I mean, you might get like 100 to 200 people that in your hometown that watch it and criticize, blah, blah, blah. But like the rest of the world has yet to know who you are. So it's like, throw your own pizzazz in there, you know? Because at the end of the day, I mean, the people in your city or whatever, or the people that are talking, I mean, and again, it could be in a year, 2 years, 3 years for me in my case, 4 or 5. It won't really matter. You know, it really won't. Like, if I had let that affect me 3 years ago, where all the people were like doubting, like, oh, come on, bro, like the bodybuilding thing, are you really think you're gonna win, blah blah blah, this and that. Do you think Amazon really works? Like, come on, bro, let's be realistic. Oh, can you actually teach someone, like, blah blah blah, or this car's leased, this car's a rental, this house isn't bought by me. Like, I've had multiple people Google it up at this point, and it's like, damn, like he actually owns this house, or like this car, you know, it has my license plate on the back of it at this point. You know, it's like, if you aren't getting haters, I don't like, you're not doing it right. Like, of course, not everyone needs to hate you, and I've already emphasized this in a different video that I recall, but not everyone should be hating you. You know, it should be like a mix of love and hate. But I mean, just keep doing you, man, because at the end of the day, it's just a reflection of them not trying. So they try to cope with it so hard to where it's like, I need he or she to fail so then I could be like, see, it wasn't for them. But then if they ever look at themselves in the mirror, they haven't really done anything, you know? For me, if this all failed, at least I said I tried and I actually achieved some things in my life that I actually wanted to achieve. And that most people can't even say, you know, buying my parents a home, getting 2 of my dream whips, you know, the 3rd and 4th are loading at this point, having land to myself, being able to say I can develop on it now or just do dumb stuff on it, and then, you know, having a partner that truly supports me and I support her. You know, there are things that's like, it's priceless, you know? Like, I feel like there's so much hate and support, and it's just both sides. But I mean, why let the haters affect you? It's the same thing when you're trying to do a bodybuilding and you're asking your friend that's never probably bodybuilt. They're like, come on, that's not gonna work. But then when you ask a bodybuilding winner, or like a person that's in it, they'll give you tips. They'll give you advice. It's like, if you want to start a restaurant and you go to small businesses, you know, or a small business restaurant, they're at least going to give you insight of like, hey, you know, it might be a little hard to get staffing, and like the turnover rates for them, you know, they might leave within a week or 2. Like, that's the struggle you deal with, or like your food's like not that good. Like, they're going to give you good criticism that you need to take back and learn from it. Instead of like, you know, talking to your friend that's like never owned a small restaurant or whatever, and be like, come on, bro, let's be realistic. You know, they're gonna talk you out of your own dreams. Like, you're really gonna listen to someone that hasn't really done anything with their life strictly because of their opinion. You know, why not try it yourself and then come to that conclusion on your own? You know, and like here, you know, I've came to the conclusion, this shit works. You know, I mean, I could have done this, you know, and fell off in a year and been like, okay, this stuff doesn't work. And, you know, Danny, Merrick, Dakota, countless other mentees that I've like trained, you know, it comes to a point, they've tried it, it works, and they continue on doing it, you know. But I can't convince everybody that like they have to have their own drive to get it done. Like, it's not on me, and it's like not everyone else, like their support system to get it done. It's truly on you to get anything that you want in life done. It's strictly and purely you. Because at the end of the day, they're your goals. Again, like I said, the people that talk you out of it, that's partially your fault for listening to that and letting them talk you out of it. It's like, come on, bro, you really think you'll have a car by this and that, or a house like this and that, like this and this? This dream life sounds unrealistic. I mean, be unrealistic. Aim for the star. I mean, I think the saying goes, aim for the stars and land on the moon, or aim for the moon and land on the stars, something like that. But it's better to have such a higher goal and to have failed, but then been much higher than where if you just, you know, aim for the bare minimum and then miss, you know, like you're aiming for the highest you can possibly go. So of course you're gonna be like up and up, like you kind of want to achieve the most you can, and take take it with a grain of salt and sugar. You know, there's going to be ups and downs throughout those weeks, days, or months that you do it, and you might not see results for months, sometimes years. You know, that's why they say, you know, most business people, like business owners, fall off within their first year, or they don't see anything in their first year. It's like their second year that they start making anything, you know. So if you go in that early on and accept that results will come, because for business it's exponential. It's not like a 9 to 5 where it's linear. And 9 to 5 is stability. There is stability, but like if there's any, you know, economy crisis, or the company is, you know, financially struggling, then guess who's on the chopping block, you know? If you're there brand new, you're on the chopping block, you know? So it can only guarantee you stability for a while, you know? You also have to think of like, and you don't have to start a business. Like for 9 to 5 people, like you can do like the passive incomes, like put it in the Roth, put it in the dividends, that's passive. Like you just keep loading more into it and you forget about it. If you strictly don't want to lead or start your own thing, then do that, you know? But know that it's low risk, low reward. So in 40 to 60 years, then you see your fruits, you know? And for my business people and the ambitious people, you know, we'll figure it out in a year to 5 years, maybe 10, but it's exponential. High risk, high reward. You know, you're putting all your faith into this business to work, all this, like, you know, hope, dreams, everything put into that. And people will probably think I just popped this out overnight, you know, but there were tears, struggle, both these cars, this house, you know, everything. I put it like so much tears, sweat, and like blood into it. Same thing with like bodybuilding, like getting that 6-pack. I worked so hard for that. Like it was like there was no cheat days, like there was no hanging out with friends, eating out. I had to sleep on time. Like I had to sacrifice friend time, family time, just to focus on that. And it truly makes you realize, like, do you truly want it or not? You know, like in here as well, you know, when anything you ever do, if it's free, it's honestly too good to be true. I'm not gonna cap with you, you know, like nothing's free in this world. Like it comes with a catch. But if you pursue your dreams and fully actually put actual meaningful time and effort into it, you'll see it eventually blossom. I promise you that. I can promise you that. But yeah, this was like a little longer update video, just recap. I think the next video I'll probably do the small business interviews, and then I don't know. Talk to my editor, probably do something with that. If not, then we'll see, you know. But yeah, it was nice hopping back on, and I hope y'all have a blessed 4th, because this is July 2nd when I'm filming this, so I hope you guys have a blessed 4th. Peace.